With the first pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
Derrick Rose goes #1 to the Chicago Bulls, making the Bulls the best team in the East, and then he tears his ACL. Michael Beasley goes #2 to the Miami Heat, but he's a bust. OJ Mayo goes #3 to the Grizzlies. Russell Westbrook goes #4 to the Oklahoma City Thunder, pairing him with Kevin Durant to make one of the greatest duos in NBA history. And Kevin Love goes #5 to the Grizzlies, traded to Minnesota, where he does amazing until he goes to Cleveland and starts playing like some hot trash. But what if? What if we went back in time and had a chance to change these picks? Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, Kevin Love, all these players on different teams.
With the first pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Russell Westbrook from UCLA.
Westbrook is a top 2-point guard right now in the league, with Stephen Curry being his only competition. Derrick Rose made the Bulls one of the best teams when he was healthy, but his knee kind of ruined that. So an even better than Derrick Rose, and even faster and even more explosive Russell Westbrook. On top of that, aside from that one torn meniscus he had, thanks Patrick Beverley for ruining the Thunder season that year.
How is any of this my fault?
Aside from that, even since high school, he's barely missed a single game. In 2008 and 2009, Westbrook is doing okay, doesn't win Rookie of the Year, Derrick Rose does, and he's not really able to lead the Bulls to a playoffs. 2010 to 2011. This is the year where he actually makes the All-Star team for the first time and brings the Bulls to the conference semifinals, but the team is too weak at the shooting guard position. This is before drafting Jimmy Butler. They have Kirk Heinrich, but he's not even a true shooting guard. At least they do make the playoffs this time. The 2011 draft, the Bulls still actually get Jimmy Butler because they got him as a steal in the 30th pick of the first round. Filling the biggest weakness on the team, he doesn't really win Rookie of the Year that first season. Kyrie wins Rookie of the Year, but Tom Thibodeau was the coach at the time, who is an amazing defensive coach. Jimmy Butler learns defense, and later on in the years becomes a much better offensive player. 2012 to 2013, Russ is the #1 scorer on the squad. He leads his team to become a contender, but their main competition is the Miami Heat, who win 60 games this season. This is when LeBron is back on the Miami Heat. The Bulls make it again to the conference semifinals, but Westbrook tears his meniscus and misses the rest of the playoffs. 2013 to 2014. Westbrook's still recovering from that torn meniscus. He misses the first half of the season, recovering. Joakim Noah plays arguably the best year of his career, winning Defensive Player of the Year, and they finish 3rd in the East. So they make it to the conference finals. Westbrook is back, he's healthy, he's playing one of the best years of his career so far as well, but they lose to the Big Three in Miami. So at this point, they have enough to get to the conference finals, but they're still missing that one piece to make their own Big Three, 2014 to 2015. The Bulls get Pau Gasol. So this Big Three, Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, and Pau Gasol, proves to be pretty amazing. Westbrook is the amazing scorer, solid defender, insane rebounder. Jimmy Butler is who he is today, great defender and scorer. And Pau Gasol brings the inside scoring they need. So Russell wins the MVP this season. No Kevin Durant get in his way, he takes over. The Bulls take the #1 seed of the Eastern Conference, and this time actually beat the Heat in the playoffs with Pau Gasol. They play the Warriors in the finals, and the Big Three take over. Jimmy Butler is able to lock down Clay. Russell Westbrook absolutely destroys Steph Curry in offense, and Joakim Noah plays great inside defense. So the Bulls win the title, Westbrook becomes the finals MVP, and this is probably as good as it gets right now for the Chicago Bulls with getting Russell Westbrook. 2015 and 2016, it kind of gets a little bit worse. While Westbrook, Butler, and Gasol are all playing pretty much the same, Joakim Noah is declining, he's getting older, and that kind of just takes away the identity of this team, a defensive team. They lose in the conference finals to the Cavaliers, now that LeBron is back in Cleveland. So getting Russell Westbrook instead at least wins them a chip, but in the long run, they just don't have enough pieces to make it consistent. At #2 overall, the Miami Heat don't take Michael Bust Beasley again, they actually take Kevin Love. Whoa, wait, Greg, you mean Kevin Love on the Cavaliers? Dude, he sucks. He's garbage. Well, a lot of people actually forgot how amazing he was on the Timberwolves. 1 year with the Wolves, he averaged 20 points and over 15 rebounds a game. The year before he got traded to the Cavs, he averaged over 26 points and 9 rebounds a game. If he was drafted by the Miami Heat, a much more stable organization than the Cavaliers, he could actually be extremely successful. That scoring, that rebounding, along with Dwayne Wade, could make the Heat a top dog in the East without LeBron, but not really enough to win a title. So let's start with the first couple years, 2008 to 2010. Kevin Love puts up huge numbers along with Wade, averaging 20 points and 12 rebounds a game. It's not really enough to make it far in the playoffs, but more importantly, it is enough to gain LeBron's interest. It's 2010 and it's time for LeBron to make the decision. The grand decision. Is he gonna stay in Cleveland? Is he gonna go to Miami? Is he gonna go to New York? Where is he gonna go? What is he gonna do?
Take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Well, instead of pairing up with Wade and Bosh, it's Dwayne Wade and a prime Kevin Love. The best Kevin Love has played his entire career. LeBron leaves Cleveland and joins the Heat to make this big three instead. The first year with LeBron, 2011 to 2012. At this point, Kevin Love is playing better than Chris Bosh. He has a much better three-point game, a much better rebounder, and the big three are just scoring too high of a level for a defense to stop. They finished as the #1 team on the Eastern Conference, beating out the Bulls this season and winning the title. 2012 to 2013, things go pretty trash. Kevin Love gets injured and only plays 18 games, but Russell Westbrook on the Bulls is also injured from the torn meniscus. So because of that, LeBron and Wade are still able to lead the team to the finals since Westbrook is out for the playoffs. The finals matchup is the Heat versus the Spurs. Now without Love, who's still injured, they're no match for the Spurs big three. Tony Parker, Ginobili, and Tim Duncan still a lot younger. Tim Duncan isn't playing like he's 49 years old, so he still did pretty well. Kawhi Leonard, who at this point is in his second year of the NBA, is already an amazing defender, playing well on LeBron. The Heat don't really have anybody amazing to guard Tony Parker, and it was just too much. Nobody there to guard Tim Duncan. They took an L in 6 games. So now we're at this season, 2015 to 2016. LeBron goes back to Cleveland. Hassan Whiteside comes in as the new center for the Miami Heat, already playing very solid. Kevin Love is still on the team as well because he signed a long-term contract the year before. So Wade, Love, and Whiteside are sort of able to make a big three of their own. They're able to make themselves contenders, but since LeBron left, they're not really enough to make it to the finals anymore. So they got their 3 titles, but it's still the same ending. LeBron leaving and Whiteside stepping in. Moving on to the #3 overall pick of the draft. So originally, the Timberwolves drafted OJ Mayo and traded him to the Grizzlies for Kevin Love. This time instead, the Timberwolves draft DeAndre Jordan and hold on to him. So yeah, DeAndre was actually a big sleeper in this draft. He was picked in the 2nd round, but now in the redraft, looking back at how well DeAndre's done, pretty amazing defender, insane rebounder, they would draft him. At the #4 overall pick, it's Supersonics' turn. Now the Thunder, but at the time they're the Sonics. So drafting Russell Westbrook was actually one of the best decisions the franchise ever made. But now he's not even available anymore because he was taken by the Bulls and they need someone else. Derrick Rose is going to get injured in a few years, so that's not helpful. And their best bet is getting a player who was actually drafted in the 2nd round. You might know this guy. His name was Goran Dragic. Amazing scorer, but he's not the same as getting Westbrook at all. Okay, so now at the #5 overall pick, this one's actually kind of interesting. The Memphis Grizzlies go ahead and draft Serge Ibaka. So the Sonics took Ibaka and Westbrook in the same draft. Here in the redraft, Ibaka is exactly what the Grizzlies want. An amazing inside defender, a shot blocker, and a consistent scorer. So once again, the Thunder are getting screwed over. At #6, the New York Knicks take Derrick Rose. Even with the injuries, even with the torn ACL, they still take Rose. The Knicks at this point are in a win-now position. Rose catapults them to the playoffs in 2009 and 2010. In 2011, Amari joins the Knicks, and eventually there's a trade to bring Carmelo Anthony to the team as well. This forms the scary big three of Rose, Melo, and Amari. Oh, and by the way, this is when Amari was a superstar, not when he started punching fire extinguishers and playing like some hot trash. So Rose is no longer an MVP on the Knicks because his scoring is a lot more spread out with Melo and Amari, but the big three of the Knicks are able to beat the big three of the Heat in the conference finals. They make it to the NBA Finals and go up against the Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki in his prime. Even though they got extremely close, unfortunately, the Knicks do lose to the Mavericks in the finals, and their big three is not enough. Sorry, Knicks fans, but it was close though. Sorta.